Time, the ever-flowing river. Come with us now to a time before man, when the river flowed through a newborn world and giants walked the earth. Welcome to Tickets Please, where today we'll be covering Jurassic Park River Adventure. Thank you for joining us. This is Austin Gould and Carson Gray. We're your two hosts for this new theme park podcast called Tickets Please. This is a passion project for Carson and I. We're just doing this for fun. I took inspiration from the podcast For Your Amusement by Ryan Bergara and Byron Marin, another theme park podcast, which is excellent. I recently rediscovered my love for theme parks. Me and Carson both grew up in the humble Midwest, so Universal and Disney was far away, but we had other theme parks like Six Flags to go to. Carson, I get the vibe that he likes roller coasters just as much as dark rides, or maybe I'm on the dark ride a little bit more myself. But yeah, this is just for fun. Today we're getting the ball rolling with maybe my favorite ride of all time, Jurassic Park River Adventure. But yeah, Carson, I'll throw it over to you.
Sure, appreciate it, man. Yeah, thanks. I'm really excited to be doing this. You got it right that I'm a huge fan of these roller coaster rides. I'm actually looking forward to. We just planned a trip with my wife and one of my other good friends. We're gonna go to the Fright Fest at St. Louis in Gurnee, Illinois. So we're really excited for that coming up soon. But yeah, hi everyone. My name is Carson. Austin and I are best buddies from high school. And yeah, we both really enjoy talking about theme parks. We always have a good time talking about, stories we've heard about them, experiences we've had together at them. And we're looking forward to scheduling something that we can go on together sometime here soon so we can share our experience with all of you as well. But yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. I love both big intense roller coasters. I also like the dark rides. I was actually just looking up a couple of the Transformers dark ride. I missed that one a lot. I rode that one at Universal as well. I loved that one.
Yeah, Universal.
Mm-hmm. That one's one of my favorites. That was my first dark ride experience actually, when I went there for a grad party with some friends after high school. And that was my first actual legit dark ride experience. I loved it. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in the movie.
Yeah. The first experience is always the one that holds in your brain. Like my first dark ride would have been Haunted Mansion in Orlando when I was 10, I think, 9 or 10. And I was screaming. I was so scared. The ride just scared me, the bones out of me.
You were quaking in your boots.
When they showed, I was just scared to death as a kid. And then, they're when that ride starts, you look up and there's a dude hanging there. And I was like, oh, no. And my mom was next to me, and she was cracking up because I was crying and screaming. But now I love them, so it was a formative experience for me. But yeah, today we're talking about Jurassic Park, the ride, or Jurassic Park River Adventure, which is what I know it as. But it can kind of go in between the two. This is a staple water ride for a lot of people. It opened in Universal Studios Hollywood in 1996, Universal Islands of Adventure in 1999, Universal Studios Japan in 2001. Currently, this ride in this capacity is not in Universal Studios Hollywood anymore. They updated it to be Jurassic World River Adventure, and while the bones are the same, pretty much the entire layout is different. They have the Indominus Rex, they have the Mosasaurus, and it's a much better ride in terms of the animatronics, though it doesn't have the classic feel. But that's for another time. We'll talk about that later. I'm actually going to Universal and Disneyland for the first time coming up here in a month. Very excited to get on the new Jurassic Park water ride. I'm actually flying in and going directly to Universal Studios Hollywood on the first day, just so I can ride Jurassic World the ride as many times as I can, because I'm a big Jurassic Park fan. It's probably my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies. It's either that or Jaws, both by Spielberg. I'm wearing a Jurassic Park hat, which you can't see because we're not doing video yet. We got to tease you. That might be coming down the pipe, if we get support for this. But for right now, we have no face reveal. But keep that in mind for the future. This ride was one of the most. It was the most expensive ride ever made at the time it was released. It cost $110 million in Universal Studios Hollywood, where it first opened, and it actually helped inspire part of the movie. So this opened in '96. Jurassic Park came out in '93, but they were building it at the same time. And the movie influenced the ride, and the ride influenced the movie, which is maybe the only time that's ever happened.
Whoa, that's
kinda
huge.
neat.
Yeah, that talk about cultural impact, dude. That's great because that movie,
Oh yeah,
movie's definitely caused significant cultural impact.
Yeah, oh yeah, one of the biggest movies of all time. They're still making these things because they just print money because people like to see dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, the last one, Rebirth, was pretty good. It was better than Dominion. It was like a solid 7 out of 10. Dominion sucked. But they're going to keep making these movies because they just print money. But this ride is actually based off of a part in the book, because Jurassic Park is based off of a book by Michael Crichton, a great author. He has other movies like Congo, a bunch of, he's a very prolific writer in terms of like the sci-fi world. In the book, there's a part where the Grant and the two kids, instead of like in the movie, they're like in the field running away from the T-Rex as he eats like the grazing dinosaur. But in the book, they get away from him on a river. And so the T-Rex is chasing them kind of like an alligator would on a raft, which was the inspiration for this ride.
Yeah, I mean, I know about the books. I haven't read the books myself personally, but I want to after experiencing the ride that I did back in high school. I know it's been a while, but this will get me back in that Jurassic Park mood.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like the most about this ride is that, well, we'll talk about kind of the downfall of this ride, as I don't think it's long for this world, which is sad. But when it was like popping, like I went on this back pre-2011, I think, just like time frame. And it was still kind of rocking. Like some of the animatronics didn't work, but it looked a lot better than it currently does, which is like when the door opens and it's Jurassic Park, there's like the first thing you see is like a broke neck, like Brontosaurus or whatever kind of dinosaur it is, but its like neck is like to like a 45-degree angle. Yeah. It's like, and you're like, oh no,
and it's gone.
It is like gone. Yeah, I mean, it's just funny because like it's so curved and it doesn't look right. And then like as you go forward, like there's a couple of other dinosaurs that we'll get into later, but there's that one that pops out of the water. When I rode this, it still popped out of the water, but I've also seen videos where it's just permanently out of the water now, but the jump scare is still there, like it's under the water and you can't see it for like the 30 seconds you're riding up to it. This ride is falling apart, and I think that leads to what will happen to this ride in the future. But before that, we'll go over kind of the ride description, what you can expect. So when you're getting on this ride, you go through the Jurassic Park part of Universal and Islands of Adventure in the States, and there's also in Japan. A great area of the park, in my opinion. It's themed very well. They got Velocicoaster over there. They got the Petrosaur or Petrodon Flyers, which is like the kid ride that you can't get on without a kid, but it looks cool. They have Discovery Cove or Discovery Area where kids can go play. And they have Thunder Falls Terrace, which is the food place that looks like the place in the movie. It's just a really great design area. There's trees everywhere. You feel like you're in a jungle, and you're in Florida, so it's hot. So it just feels, to me, it just felt very thematic when I was there. I was like, oh, I'm actually in Jurassic Park. They got some props. I don't think they're from the movie, but they're modeled to look like the cars from the movie and the T-Rex scene. There's a photo op with the T-Rex, and I believe the Spinosaurus as well. I know that was there when I was there back in the day. They also have Raptor Encounter, which, Carson, have you ever seen the videos on TikTok where it's like Megatron shit-talking people?
Yeah, of course.
So, like, they have a Raptor one, but it's like the Raptor doesn't shit-talk because it's a Raptor. But you can take a picture with it, and it has like a jump scare that it usually gets people with, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, just a great little part of the park, in my opinion, though it has seen better days. But when you're getting on the ride, you go through a bunch of switchbacks, which suck. The queue is kind of just comprised of switchbacks and like very standard def televisions. Do you remember that, Cars, when you were in line?
Yes, and I like for to do a little bit of research before recording this episode. I watched like not all of it, but like 5 minutes of the 14-minute long recording that they have for those during those that switchback part of the queue. And just in case anybody in our lovely audience at home is curious about what a switchback is, Austin, you care to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, switchback is just like when you're in line and you switch back over the line. So like if you're ever in a line anywhere, like even at the DMV, like you'll go through in like a snake pattern, and that's just so they can fit a bunch of people in a like small area and keep the line moving. But like these, like I said, these switchbacks are just wood. Although I do like the video package they play. It's like an in-world video package, as Carson you were just talking about. It's like a newscast, like from like 1996 when or three when they're talking about like Jurassic Park, like it's an actual thing. It's like very cheesy. It has like if you ever watched Animal Planet back in the day, it has like those kind of graphics for the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that.
And like when it's displays all the info for it too. It kind of reminds me of a little bit like Cyber Chase from PBS Kids, that kind of like font and format.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like size weight. This
Yep.
is what it does. And it's like, it's very of the time. I kind of like that. It gives like a fun vibe. I do think it's telling, though, that they haven't updated it since, like, from what I could tell, like, for a very long time, it looks like the same that it's always been.
Pretty sad.
But after you go through the switchbacks, you then get on the rafts. And each one is capable of holding 25 passengers, which in the ride world is huge. Just like a huge, this ride has a huge capacity for people, which is why its wait times are pretty good now. But we'll get into that a little bit. After you get on, you go through the early parts of Jurassic Park. You go through the big doors of Jurassic Park. One of the coolest moments for me as a kid, because I love Jurassic Park, so it was just cool to be in a vehicle and have the doors open like it does in the movie, even though you're on a boat, not a car. They also wanted this attraction to be a Jeep attraction when it first started, but they couldn't get that working. Though in Universal, I believe it's Universal Beijing, they do have a, like the little like circle spheres from Jurassic World cars?
Yeah.
They have a ride based off of those. So you get in those and it's like a kind of like a track rather than a water ride.
Do they really? So like,
cool.
is it kind of like you go into like a free range dino world sort of deal?
I don't think it's I think it's just on a track. I don't think it's I forget the term when Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, which I know you have not been on, is this kind of ride system where the ride could technically go wherever.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's the Star Wars one. That's one with C-3PO being the host, right?
No, that's Star Tours. That one came out. That one's
Tours. Okay.
Rise of the Resistance is a new ride. Don't worry, we'll get you on that someday, and it'll blow your goddamn mind.
I'm going to grow so much from this podcast. I can't wait to become a theme park master.
Yeah, because that's another thing is that we're novices in the theme park world. We both like them a lot, but like I said before, we grew up in the Midwest, so we haven't had like the biggest opportunity to get on these rides, and so we're gonna learn together, and.
The closest thing that would happen is our local malls, like what 3-day weekend little
the death
Barney
trap
stint. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
That looks like everything looks like it would fall apart in a second if just one too many people steps on it. Yeah, exactly.
I went to a number of the like carnivals when I was young, but like. I have like no love for the carnival now because I spent like my summers there and I just hated it. I felt like every ride I got on I was gonna die. The food was like terrible. You pay like $12 for a lemon shake up and get like a shot of lemonade. Just terrible. So once you get on the raft, you go through the main gate into Ultrasaur Lagoon. Also, I am not a paleontologist, so I apologize if I get some of these names wrong of these dinosaurs because some of these are very tough to say. But a mother Ultrasaurus and her young are seen eating plants and talking to each other. This next dinosaur is called a Sitcosaurus, but it's spelled like pistachio. And so I'm going to call it the Pistachiosaurus. It is like the dinosaur that has like the spikes coming out the side of its head.
The
No one's
pistachiosaurus.
no one's favorite dinosaur. That's also in the grass. There's also you then go to Stegosaurus Springs, where you see a baby Stegosaurus and it's young. You see two compies, which are the little green dinosaurs from the second movie. They might be in the first movie too, but they're definitely in the second movie when they eat that guy, and they're also in the opening bit. They're like little tiny green dinosaurs, and they're fighting over. It used to be a popcorn bucket, but I believe it's a hat now. When I was watching the video, it used to be they were tugging a popcorn bucket, but I believe they're just tugging a hat now.
Oh, really? Is there
Yeah.
a reason why they changed it?
I don't know the reason why they changed it. I think they just I forget why. But I do remember seeing the popcorn, though. That one could, I know it's changed for Hollywood Studios in LA. But I'm not sure if the hat is still in Orlando, because I haven't been to Orlando in a bit.
Okay.
But and then you go through and you get sprayed by the Parasaurolophus, which is the dinosaur that pops up out of the water, and it usually scares a lot of people because there's like a loud like psh when it pops out of the water and it sprays you. No one's expecting it unless you can see the damn animatronic 30 seconds before you're supposed to, because the ride's broken down, as it always is now. And then that's when the shit hits the fan in the ride, and your nice park day is ruined by shit going wrong at Jurassic Park. Who could figure? There used to be great VO here when like you start going through the area that's like destroyed. Like you see the raptor paddock and it's all destroyed. You see where the Dilophosaurus could have been, which is the dinosaur that kills Nedry in the movie. It's the one that has the frills and spits poison. You also the audio is always like, oh no, something's happening. What's going on? You can also look down and see a Mickey Mouse hat floating in the water. That got removed, but that used to be a thing because the Universal was taking a shot at Disney. Pretty funny. Wish I was still there. Then you start going up the waterfall. Or not the waterfall, but you start going up into the T-Rex enclosure. And there used to be great VO here. When I was listening today on a ride POV, I didn't hear it, and I was sad about it because it used to be a guy being like, "There's a T-Rex in the building!" Like he was losing his mind, and it was so. I love that VO because you can like hear the panic in the guy's voice. It's a very good performance that I wish was still there. But then you go through the like kind of like area that's been attacked by the dinosaurs. There's like there used to be a Jeep that fell down the wall, but they removed that. Never worked. Even back when I went, the Jeep falling down the wall like it does in the movie, that didn't work, and so the Jeep was just at the bottom already. Like I said, you see the destroyed raptor enclosure. You can hear, you go like underneath a big crate that was holding a raptor. You go up into the T-Rex exhibit. A Dilophosaurus, which is the one that sprays you with the poison in the movie, pops up and sprays you with water. You also see like there's a bunch of. Oh yeah,
we'd be dead. We'd all be dead.
You wouldn't be able to see, and you would lose your Barbasol can in the mud that had all the dinosaur embryos. But you're going through there. There's also a bunch of raptors doing like a bunch of like bullshit. Which I never understood. There's like a raptor that's like in the ceiling holding wires. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, a little bit. It's just a quick little, stint that you see when you're riding through the interior part of it, right?
Yeah, but like, what is that raptor doing? Why is the raptor in the ceiling? Why is it holding wires?
I don't know. Maybe maybe
a never understood
effect.
that.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to make a buck nowadays, so it's probably trying to keep its job.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, hey, look,
it's trying to fix the problem.
Look, I'm learning trades. Look.
It's an electrician for trade school. He's trying to put the wires back together. He knows that you're about to see a giant T-Rex. But then you see a giant T-Rex. It emerges. It like kind of like swings out towards your raft.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a good note. We're going to be covering the ride, so there's going to be a lot of spoilers. So, in earnest, if you want, you should go on this ride beforehand and then come back and listen to this great podcast. But, yeah, so the T-Rex kind of swings out, and he's roaring. And then right when he swings out, you drop. I believe it's 84 feet. Right down into water. A great scenic like picture shot of like getting splashed down into water. It looks great. It's fun. In the area, there's like a place where you can go and watch and like not get soaked. But yeah, just a super fun little splashdown. It's also important to note you will potentially get soaked on this ride. There's no there's no like you cannot plan for it. Like if you're like, well, maybe I won't get wet. There's just no knowing. It's a huge vehicle that drops down into a bunch of water. Currently in, I believe, both LA and Orlando, they're doing like the Summer of Fun thing where they call it the Mosasaurus Splash, where they added more water into the lagoon so you get more wet. And so you have the potential of just looking like you jumped in a swimming pool if you get on this ride.
I love that. That was my favorite part of the ride, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Just getting splashed like that at the end, so fun.
I love the T-Rex and the drop down. That was the best.
Yes. But if you have any tech that you don't want to get, I mean, they do a really good job at. You can always ask the people, the employees there, if you have any questions about keeping stuff dry. But for the most part, you'll get wet, but not enough to where it's gonna mess with anything. But I guess nowadays, don't have to worry about that as much with tech. A lot of stuff's starting to become waterproof, isn't it? So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they definitely have lockers that you can use.
And lockers, true.
Where you can put stuff in. But yeah, you can also wear a poncho. But come on, it's all right to get a little wet, especially if you're in Florida and it's boiling outside, which it definitely is in the summer when we're recording this. But yeah, that's the one that I know the best in Orlando. That's just kind of a quick and dirty overview of the ride. And like I said, this podcast is kind of going to evolve over time. If there's parts of the podcast you like, let us know. If there's parts that you don't like, let us know. This is an evolving, like dinosaurs, situation. I guess that works. I'm keeping that in.
There you go.
The evolution. Yeah, but that's the ride. This is also in Japan. It's a little longer in Japan. It's the ride length here is about 5.5 to 6 minutes, and the one in Japan is about 7. I watched a ride through of the Japan. It didn't seem to be a whole lot different. The one thing I did see that was different was in the Orlando one, when the T-Rex like swings out, there's like fog that kind of like masks him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
That wasn't there in the Japan one, and I thought it looked a lot worse. Because you could
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, you could see the like legs of the T-Rex, and you can see it like when you were riding up to the ride, and it didn't. I was like, oh well, there's the T-Rex. It didn't look as good.
There's the T-Rex just chilling there. Yep, waiting for
me. If I had to hazard a guess, I imagine that this ride has probably not seen updates in Japan as it has not in the States outside of the Jurassic World one. That is kind of a new ride.
And by the way, the that doesn't surprise me comment that I just made, that was about not surprised that the jump scare didn't work without the smoke. That's all I meant by it.
Oh no, totally fine. Yeah, I mean this ride, like I said, I love this ride, but this ride is kind of like if you have ever had like a family friend that had a dog growing up, and it was like the family dog, and they loved it, and then they kept it alive longer than it should have been, and then it was like a pug that couldn't breathe, and like if it coughed, its eyeball would pop out, and you're like,
it's so sad.
Ugh.
Yeah,
you gotta like poke the eyeball back in. You're like, yeah, all right, buddy, let's get you on the couch. But that's what this ride is. It just is like not maintained like at all. When something breaks, they're just like, well, it's broken, and they don't fix it. Like the neck of the big dinosaur or the dinosaur that pops out of the water just staying out of water. The second time I rode this, like there was something wrong with that dinosaur, and he was just like fully out of the water. Like I could see the stick that was holding him, so that was kind of funny.
My gosh, bummer. That would take you out of the world building really fast.
It definitely, like, I don't think this ride is long for this world. I think Universal in Orlando just had its big opening of Epic Universe, which is getting rave reviews, and I have avoided spoilers like the plague. But it's getting rave reviews. People love the rides there. There's not a Jurassic Park part of that park yet, or I'm not sure if there's going to be because they have How to Train Your Dragon, and that's, like, I guess similar. But I think the money went to that park for the time, and then now that that's done, and they'll be updating it and everything. I think they're going to work a lot on Islands of Adventure, especially because they have a whole area called like the Lost Continent, which was like where Poseidon was and everything. That's just like there's no attractions there right now. And it's next to Jurassic Park, I believe. I think that this ride probably has a year or two left, just because they're not putting anything into this. They're not going to get rid of this ride. I think they're going to update it to be Jurassic World themed, as they have the Velocicoaster right next to it, which is like apparently another ride that me and Carson have not been on, but apparently it's like a bitchin' roller coaster where you ride through a raptor paddock. Yeah, I heard it's great. I heard it's one of the best in the world. But that's right next to it.
Like that, yeah.
Oh yeah. And you're just the Mosasaurus roll when you're like right away from the water. It sounds awesome. So I think this ride's days are numbered, people. So if you want to get on this absolute classic attraction, either fly to Japan, where it is, or go to Orlando while it's still there. Because this is the ride that kind of brought me online as a theme park head when I was a kid. Because I was like, that's how you do a theme park, baby. I was like, I'm in the world. I was like, I'm in Jurassic Park. And I loved it.
I pictured you at 6 years old with that same voice.
Yeah.
You just said it.
Really.
Decked out in your Jurassic Park swag from the park. That's how you theme park, baby.
Still wearing it now. Still wearing the hat now. But that's my personal experience with the ride. When I first rode it, I just loved it. It was my favorite ride that I went on in Universal. Like I said, I'm much more of a dark ride. I also love dinosaurs. I love Jurassic Park. So it was just like a formative experience for me in the theme park world, which is why this is the first episode, because this was the ride that kind of brought me online as like, I think theme parks are kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And then when I heard about the new one that has like a giant animatronic of another dinosaur, I was like, I gotta get on that. But Carson, what was your first experience on the ride?
My first experience was actually in that high school graduation trip that I was talking about, which was cool because I was, 18, and so I was able to really fully enjoy the experience and taking all the details and everything like that. I had a blast. Thankfully, at the time, the the stick was not poking out for me, so I was able to, and the head actually popped up at the right time. It wasn't just stuck up there, so that all worked out pretty well. But I know exactly which neck you're talking about on that one dinosaur at the start. It's pretty rough.
Oh yeah, dude, that is such a that if they fix anything, it's got to be that. Because it's just like the doors open, the voiceover is great. It's John Hammond, doing the intro I did, and then the dinosaur is like, it is like so bad.
It took me out for a split second. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, because like if you saw it in real life, like if dinosaurs still were alive and one looked like that, you'd be like, put it down. You'd be like, it's hurting.
Yep. And it's important because that's the start. That's your like first experience after opening the doors to Jurassic Park. That's really, or probably soon to be Jurassic World, like you were talking about. But that's really important. It's a tone promise, and if the tone promise is, yeah, it's like, all right, well, I can't. I don't know if I want to. I thought this was supposed to be. I thought this was supposed to be fun. That's not very fun.
They gotta do something with that. It is bad.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. But yeah, no, that was my first experience, and the T-Rex freaked me. I didn't expect that. The T-Rex freaked me out at the end, right before the dip. It genuinely got me. I'm not even gonna. At 18 years old, I'm not even gonna pretend that it didn't. But I loved it.
It's beautiful. It's a great looking animatronic. And like you really get the scale of it. It really feels like you're just in the movie for that split second. That's what I think all theme parks are going for. It's just if they can get you to, if you can make pretend for just a couple of seconds. That's like there's a ride that me and my wife went on called Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom, which is the Avatar ride. And we'll talk more about this when we cover that. I don't like the Avatar.
Okay.
Like I thought the second movie was good, but I'm not a big Avatar person. I just kind of missed the boat on that. But my wife liked it.
I did like the second one. Yeah, I liked the second one a lot more than the first one was solid, but I liked the second one a lot more.
First one is Pocahontas with blue people, or Fern Gully, whatever you want to call it. But it is like a very simple plot, but people love the graphics. But my wife really wanted to go on the ride, and I was like, okay. And so we waited in line forever, like an hour, and I was like, whatever. But the ride was so awesome, and there was just a part where I gave into my inner child, and I was like, it's real. and I just felt like I was flying. And the same with this ride, where you just that T-Rex swings its head out, and just for a millisecond, you're like, it's real. I'm in it, and it's great. It's a great experience. I love that T-Rex. I hope he stays around for a long, long time, even if they redo this attraction in that big giant building.
I hope so too. I won't give away any spoilers, but I did see some Jurassic World stuff that they've done in the, I think it was the Beijing one. But
that one's
looks really
awesome.
cool. Yeah,
I can't wait. If I ever I like want to go to China just so I can get on that ride.
just do that right.
But
Yes.
but yeah, so I also have one fun anecdote on this ride that happened last year around September, October, I believe. This ride broke down because, of course, it did at night, and they
At
didn't
night?
have time to like. Yeah, it was like they they didn't have time to reset it, but like the animatronics stopped working, and people were just going through on the raft. And I couldn't find this again yesterday, but I swear it was real. They were like instead of the T-Rex swinging out, somebody that worked at Universal would just come over the like PA announcements, and they were like, "Rah rah rah, I'm a T-Rex," and then the drop would happen, and it was so funny.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
That is like the jank that I love. Like that would never happen at Disney. They would just be like, "Get off the ride," and they would never like do something like that because they try to keep their like they want it to be a very specific experience. But I loved that somebody at Universal was like, "Yeah, fuck it," and they just like voiced the T-Rex. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Props to them. That's good improv skills right there.
That's keeping the magic right there. I would have
Yes,
died of
exactly.
laughter
Rah, rah, rah.
if I was on the ride and like I heard that. I would not have been able to stop laughing.
Could you imagine if it quote unquote broke down, but you could still ride through finish the rest of the ride, and then for some reason it just starts up right when the T-Rex is about to come out for you, so everything turns back on when you're in this dark ass
Awesome.
tunnel, and then the T-Rex comes at you. You could start.
See, that's how I
crashing
know
down.
we're both theme park people, is because we imagine like unique experiences on the ride. It would be. I think about it all the time, like Rise of the Resistance, the Star Wars ride, where I like want the ride to break down at like there's like an AT-AT part, so I can walk around the AT-AT. Like that's how I know that we like theme parks, is we want unique experiences.
Oh yeah.
All right, but that's kind of the long and short of this ride. And now we will get into, we have the patent pending called the Worth It Indicator. Tickets Please Worth It Indicator, where we will be going through. Oh, there you go. Give me that again. That's going to be the stinger.
Worth it.
Hell yeah. Where we kind of go through a list of 10 things about the ride. We give it a score of 0 to 5, and that will determine its worth. I have the rubric as if it is a 1 point, or 0 points, it's terrible. 1 point is broken down. 2 points, technical difficulties. 3 points, sleeper ride. 4 points, bitchin', and 5 points, must do. Which leads to the ranking system at the end, where if it has a perfect 50 points, it is a true world-class attraction, a one-of-a-kind. 40 points is a must-do, but leaves some room for improvement. 30 points, a solid ride, but missing 1 or 2 key elements. 20 points, a ride that is missing a lot, but can still be fun. 10 points or lower, a terrible ride. When we're going through the rubric, feel free in the comments to score it yourself and let us know where you put this ride or any ride we do in the future. All right, so let's jump in. So this also, we will not just be covering roller coasters and dark rides on this podcast. We will also be covering events that you can do in the parks. For example, we have coming up Uga's Cantina, which is the Star Wars Cantina that you can go to in both parks in the U.S. Carts, I know you have not done that, but I'll cover you.
Not yet. I'm looking for. I want to do that though.
And building a lightsaber. So we're not just going to do rides and attractions, but kind of everything the park has to offer. And the rubric will change as it needs to for those attractions, because not every test would be applicable. But as we do this more and more, we give us feedback and what tests you like, what tests you don't like, and if you want us to add anything, let us know. But without further ado, we will get into the ride rubric for Jurassic Park River Adventure. So Carson, I sent you a rubric the other day, and now I changed it because I'm a bastard. So I will just kind of walk you through the new one, and we'll score it together.
Cool.
So
Let's wing it, baby.
The first one test we have is the accessibility test. How accessible is this ride for all types of people? I feel like this is an important test just because there's all types of people that go to the parks, and you want to see like how people can get on the ride, if they have disabilities or whatnot. And through my research, I found this ride actually had pretty good accessibility. You have to be at least 42 inches tall to get on this ride. If you're a kid and you're 42 inches tall, you still need to be with a parent, so keep that in mind. Keep in mind, you will also get soaked on this ride, so if you don't want to get wet or you can't get wet for a medical reason, just keep that in mind. If you have a service animal, the attraction cannot accommodate service animals, but a portable kennel is available upon request, which is pretty cool. So it would just be like a little cage you put them in while you were on the ride. If you are in a wheelchair, there is a device that will assist you into the boat because you have to step down. But this ride does have wheelchair accommodation, just a device to help you get into the ride vehicle. Ask an attendant for that for help. This also has open caption queue monitors are available for the TV segments. So if you are deaf or you can't hear for whatever reason and you want closed captioning on the video, apparently just ask a team member for details and they'll add it to. They'll change it so you can the captions run through the video. So that's pretty cool. I like that detail. There's no weight limit on this ride. It would just be in terms of if you could fit, every body type is different, so just keep that in mind. I couldn't find anything specific for weight. But out of 0 to 5, I gave that a score of 4. What do you think, Cars?
Man, I mean, after hearing you explain all of that, I was honestly gonna put it at like a 2, because I figured, it's a boat ride. I don't see a lot of accessibility going on for it, but that sounds like a lot of really cool accessibility options for people. So I'm moving it up to a 5. Honestly, it's a must
great.
do.
And me and Carson will have different scores, just so everyone knows, because we're different people.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought that had some pretty good accessibility options. Maybe not the most in the world, but pretty good. Next test is wait times. So how long is the average wait for the ride? Does the wait time hinder or help the ride? Is the ride wait time, does it warrant the ride experience? So in July of 2025, when we were recording this, the average wait time was 23 minutes, which seemed very low to me. It only exceeded 30 minutes on average once in the entire month of July, and that's from thrilldata.com. I think that is another. This ride has great capacity, as I mentioned up top. Each boat carries 25 people, so it just kind of rips through people. Islands of Adventure also has a lot of other good rides, especially like Velocicoaster right next to it, which kind of keeps the wait times down because people kind of split their time between the two. The highest wait time for this ride ever recorded, according to thrilldata.com, was 300 minutes, a whopping 5 hours. I imagine that was somewhere around when it first opened, because it was not clipping above 30, like I said, for the month of July, which I would imagine would be the most popular month for this ride because it's hot. But yeah, so the wait time, 23 minutes. I think that's a great wait time. I think the video package in the queue is actually 28 minutes. So if you were only waiting 23 minutes, you wouldn't even have to watch the whole queue video, which is just nice. You feel good when you don't have to watch a repeated video or a repeated audio. It feels like a whole experience, and the entire experience would be somewhere around 30 minutes. And so I think that's a great wait time. I think that's a perfect length. I don't think you should wait longer than I would wait an hour for this ride, but I wouldn't recommend. But that's because I love Jurassic Park. And if you don't have to, and 23 minutes, I think that's banging. So that for me, that's a score of 5. What do you think?
Yeah, totally agree. I'm shocked at that wait time. I was expecting minimum an hour and a half. Gonna be honest.
I know, yeah, and the one in World I know can get up to pretty high. This ride can also get high wait times if it's broken down. That was one of the things I was seeing a lot. Was like the only wait time people had was like it was not working. Um, but yeah, like I said, don't wait 5 hours for this thing. This also has we'll get into that later, but it also has a single rider line and an express line. And I'm a big fan of single rider lines. But yes, for me, wait times, this is a 5. I think this is a great experience. For under 30 minutes, you get the whole thing, and the wait time is only 23. That's great.
Yep, I agree. I will also take a 5 on that one.
Nice. And then we talk about the queue. So a queue in a theme park is where you wait for the ride. It's where the switchbacks are. They sometimes can have interactive elements. This queue, unfortunately, sucks. It's in a great area of the park. It looks nice. You're in Jurassic Park. Everything's covered in jungle. You're in when you're in the queue, it's just switchbacks, though. Just wooden switchbacks. You do have some shade, and you do have some standard def televisions, which kind of look out of place. I can give this more than a 1. What do you think?
Yeah, well, okay. I know the one. Uh, I experienced the Jurassic Park ride in Orlando. Is it very similar,
Yeah,
if not the exact same, in all the other parks?
as far as I can tell, yes.
Oh God, then yeah, it's gonna be a 1 for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because the queue. Like I said, this ride just has great capacity, and so I think they didn't put a lot into the queue because they knew that they were just going to be chugging
They
people
thought
through
they
this.
just expected it would fly through. Yeah, exactly. No, it's
Yeah,
not long. Like you said, 6.5 to 7 minutes, right?
yeah. For the wait time, 23 minutes, easy peasy.
Or no, so the ride, like the ride length
Oh, the
time.
ride length is 5.5 minutes, but they constantly have boats going through it at different times.
Oh yeah,
So they're always going with the boats. I don't know how many they have in total, but yeah, the queue just not that great. Could use some sprucing up. I know the queue is not great in the new one either, though. So maybe they just don't do good queues for Jurassic Park. I don't know why.
bummer.
And then we'll get into the next test. So that's a score of 1 for me. Is that a score? What score for that is you, Cars?
Yes, that is a 1 for me as well. And that was for the
Great.
queue.
And then we'll talk a little bit about costs because unfortunately the world turns on money. So we got to make sure these things are worth our time. So this ride does not cost anything additional after you get into the park. The average ticket cost for Islands of Adventure seems to be hovering around $120, and Islands of Adventure is open 13 hours a day. Like I said earlier, this ride does have a single rider line, which is nice. So that's just if you're by yourself or even if you're with a group and you all say well, we'll just ride a solo. They just kind of fit you in where they can. But usually it saves you a lot of time, which is nice. And they also have an express lane, which is kind of like a lightning lane thing where you can just buy tickets so you don't have to wait. I don't think you should use the express lane if the average isn't exceeding 23 minutes. That seems like a perfectly apt wait time for this kind of ride. But like I said, the average wait time is 23 minutes, ride time 5.5 minutes for a 30-minute total experience, which would break down since we're doing a little bit of math here. Since it's open for 13 hours, since the park costs $120 to get in, the question is this ride worth $10? Would you pay $10 to go on this ride separately? Carson?
That's actually not that bad, all things considering, especially with the way prices are nowadays in 2025. So I personally, I would say that's a 4 for cost for me. And that's not
That's right where
perfect,
I have it as
obviously.
well.
And
I have it
the
as.
free, as close to free as possible would be a 5. Like if it's pennies
Mhm.
or like 25 cents, like after the math is done. But I would say, you know, I would look at that and be like, yeah, yeah, I got time. I got the time to do this. I'll pay the $10.
Yeah, I would pay the max I would pay out of pocket to go on this ride, outside of anything, would be $25. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I would pay it
That's
because I
pretty
love
high.
this ride.
That's
I wouldn't
you
be happy
love
about it.
you love Jurassic Park more than I do. That's what that proves.
I'd be like, damn, really, $25? And then I would be like, yeah, and I would get on it, but I would not be happy about it. It would definitely
Yeah,
impact I would be like, well, I guess I'm riding this once.
you'd be grumbling
But
about it.
I think this ride is definitely worth at least $10. I have it as a score of 4 as well.
Oh, nice. We're agreeing on 3 in a row now.
Oh yeah, we're
I'll see
simpatico.
if I'm curious if this next one's going to break us apart. We'll see.
Okay, so this next one I changed. So sorry. It's called The Land now. So how good is the queue? Is there shade? Is there stuff to do to keep you entertained? What's going on with the area of the park. So in this area of the park in Orlando, the area also has rides like Velocicoaster, Petrodon Flyers, the Raptor Encounter, Camp Jurassic. It has one of the best places to eat in the park. I was looking on a couple of lists, and Thunder Terrace Falls has usually ranked like around top three places to eat in the park, and had like a score of like a 9 out of 10. They have like barbecue. They have like different like stuff you can get like that are like dinosaurs themed. Apparently the empanadas are great. Me and Carson cannot eat the empanadas because we both are. I have celiac and Carson is gluten sensitive. But Carson, you'll be glad to know they also have allergen options, a couple of different things that we can eat. One of the barbecue options is gluten free. They also have beer for you if you want beer.
Do they really have gluten-free beer? Holy crap.
I don't know about the gluten-free beer, but they do have beer for everyone else. But they probably have like a seltzer for us.
All right, well, y'all can just make sure to enjoy that responsibly. For us as well.
Or irresponsibly if you're at the park, have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't have any responsibilities, go for it.
Don't do that. That sounds like a bad idea. I don't want to be drunk on a roller coaster. That's why there's no. Actually, that's not true anymore. I was gonna say that's why there's no roller coasters in Epcot, but that's not true. They have Fast Track and they have Cosmic Rewind now.
They do.
But I think this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, this doesn't pertain to Jurassic Park.
Oh, please.
But I know about the Shots Heard Around the World challenge. I will do that at Epcot.
Yeah, yes. We will do the drink that will be our 50th episode extravaganza where we actually go film ourselves in the park getting toasted.
That would be so fun.
But I think this part of some people don't like this area of the park. Like I said up top many times, I think this is just a wonderfully themed area. You're in Florida. It's a jungle swamp vibe, so feeling like it's tropical. So when you're in a tropical area that's supposed to be with dinosaurs, it feels correct. There's like dinosaur stuff everywhere. There's a great gift shop. For me, it does not get better than this. I gave it a 5.
Yeah, it sounds like the area's packed now. It didn't used to be like that. That's for sure. So
nope. Used to be
based on it nowadays, I would say it. Guess we're agreeing 4 times in a row, man. That's a 5 for me as well.
Hell yeah. And then we go to the vibe of the ride. How immaculate is the vibe of the ride or around the ride? For me, as I've said many a time, don't need to beat a dead horse here. I love this ride. I think the vibe is great. I think it's I just think it's wonderful. I am going to dock it a point, though, because of how poorly it's been maintained. So I'm going to give it a 4. I still love this ride, and I still think, even with the broken crap, the vibe is great, but it's great it's like so bad that it's good. But I think I got to dock it at least a point for that. What do you think?
I'm low. I'm good. This is where we're going to break off a little bit. I'm giving it a 3 because, like you said, with those breakdowns happening, especially that poor dopey dinosaur at the start of Jurassic Park. You gotta set the tone promise for that ride. If I'm gonna be waiting a half hour or even an hour, to be able to ride that ride, it's really important to do your best to have that all the details squared away like that.
Yeah, I mean I can't fault you. This is like I said, this is a very biased test.
Absolutely,
that's what
fully
we both
subjective.
Oh yeah,
fully subjective.
But this is one of my favorite rides, so I got to give it. But I'm going to be dinging on the next one because the next test is Through Time. I think this ride is, obviously seen better days. I think it's going to be changed here in the near future, and I gave this score a score of 2.
So, time of the ride? Do you mean like longevity of how long it's going to stick around as of right now?
Yeah, I just mean like how has it been over time? Has it been maintained? What do people think about the ride? What do you think the future of the ride is going to be? Because I was looking at people, and they did not. I was like, before I did research, I was like, of course it's a must-do. It's Jurassic Park River Adventure, and people did not have it on their must-do list. The wait time was really low, and I was like, oh man, maybe my nostalgia is blinding me here.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and slightly disagree with you. I'm actually going to put it at a 4, and here's why. It's like you said, it like the core of it will stick around, but it will be renovated eventually to, from what it sounds like, for the most part, to become Jurassic World's
That's
the
a good
new like
point.
Jurassic World version. So
That's a good point. The
you know,
ride itself will change, but the bones and the theming will stay the same.
yeah, yep,
I
exactly.
think I think you're
So
right about that. I'm gonna bump that up to a 3. Why the hell
well,
not?
there you go, there you go.
Next test, the wow moment. Is there a wow moment? Yes. The T-Rex swinging out and then the drop right away. If that's not a wow moment, I don't know what is. That's a 5 for me.
Yeah, of course. Easy 5. That we're back to agreeing on that one. I think there are a couple wow moments on that ride, especially if it's your first time seeing it. So as long as the dinosaur in the river that first pops up cooperates,
Oh
um,
yeah, that's a
you know
wow
you got
moment
a
for a
couple wow
different reason.
moments. Yep.
The broke neck dinosaur is also a wow, but you're like, ooh, wow. It's that kind of wow. Um, but next test. Sorry, what score did you give for that one?
Oh, 5. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Nice. Cultural impact is our next test. This ride made an impact on the movie as it was being made. Other water rides are always compared to this ride. It's still fondly remembered, even though if it's not maintained super well. A truly immersive experience, though, when it's working and firing on all cylinders. For me, this is a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. It's a 5 as well. I did not know that it impacted the movie as well. That is so cool.
Yeah, so
So
cool.
definitely
Uh,
culturally impactful.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can't think of another ride that's ever impacted like the movie being made. Jurassic Park is so weird because Spielberg met with Crichton before he wrote the book, and he was like, "Write this book so I can make a movie out of it." Very interesting
Did
as
he
a
really? I'm gonna have
whole.
to look more into that. That's
Yeah, it's
fascinating.
fascinating. And then our most important test, number 10, a must do. If you don't ride this ride, will it hinder your experience or will your day at the park been worse? So for this test, we're saying if you went to the park that day and the ride was down or you couldn't get on it for whatever reason, is your day worse? I say yes. I say it's a little worse. I say that if you don't ride this ride, you're missing a little something. It doesn't have like it has great kinetic energy. You get to watch the people with the splashdown. I think if you don't ride this Island of Adventure, you're missing out. I think it's a great ride. For me, it's a must do, though I do know there's room for improvement, so I gave it a score of 4.
I can't fault you with it, man. I'm gonna go one step further and give it a 5 because like you've mentioned throughout this podcast episode, the nostalgia that's there is really important, and it's a backbone for Universal. Like it's one of those top ride names that comes up when people are thinking of the theme park itself. It's very significant for the park, and what it's done to bring joy for their audience. So I'm gonna give it a 5 because I if nothing else, like with all the flaws aside, you're at this point in 2025, I would go so far as to say you're experiencing a piece of history in real time by riding this ride
Agreed.
still. So
Yeah, ride this
yeah,
ride, people, before it goes away. I know it's coming. There's been no announcements, but I feel it in my bones.
right.
But yeah, so in total, my final score is a 41, which puts it as a must do, but there is a little room for improvement. I wish they maintained it. And Carson, what are you at?
I am at 42.
Excellent. A must do for both of us. We both love this ride. We both love Jurassic Park. I even own a piece of amber that my wife's a jeweler, and so she got me a piece of amber. So I just love Jurassic Park. I love this ride. I think it's a great place to start a podcast with. But yeah, Carson, any final thoughts?
Do it. Go on the ride.
Go on the ride, people.
You'll love the experience.
It's going away.
If you have younger kids that hit the 42-inch mark that you think would enjoy that kind of thrill ride and give them their first big, their big adult experience, I recommend this ride a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point too. It is good for. I think it's good for kids because it has like that big drop, which everyone loves, but otherwise not too intense.
Yep, exactly.
Well, thank you for joining us on our inaugural episode of Tickets Please. This has been a lot of fun, Karst. Like I said, please let us know how you feel in the comments. Give us your feedback. We're always looking to improve. And next episode, we'll be talking about. This was a bit of a longer one because it was a big old attraction, Jurassic Park River Adventure. But next episode, we're talking. You got to call your chiropractor ahead of time because we're talking about Screaming Eagle. And your back will be in
the backbreaker.
The
Yep.
absolute
No
backbreaker in Six Flags St. Louis. So join us for that episode. But until then, thank you for joining us.
Thank you all. Take care.